Hyundai just released all the changes coming for the 2025 model year for all of their cars. And in today's video, we're going to be talking specifically the EVs. So let's not waste any time. Let's just go down the list and start talking about them. All right, so we will start at the top of the list, and that is going to be Hyundai's upcoming 3-row all-electric SUV. Now, we don't know any details from this press release, but we do know that an announcement will be coming later in 2024. Now, what we do know so far is just based on photographs and leaks of the car. I've made multiple videos on the topic. I will have links to them down in the video description. But in a nutshell, it's a 3-row all-electric SUV. It's going to be similar in size, possibly a little bit bigger than the EV9 from Kia. And it will be their flagship model. It's going to be top of the lineup. Now, rumors originally were that we were going to see it unveiled at the Busan Auto Show in Korea at the end of June. That came and went. My contact at Hyundai also said that that wasn't happening, so I guess it really is being pushed till later this year. Now, if it's anything like the EV9, it'll probably come in 2 variants here with a smaller battery pack and a larger battery pack of about 100 kilowatt hours, which will give it decent range. All right, next up, we already know everything about this car. That's the 2025 Ioniq 5N. It's already been on sale for, I think, 3 or 4 months now in the United States. I've already made a video driving that car and my first impressions on it. Link in the description as well. So yeah, nothing is changing because that already is a 2025 model year vehicle. We won't expect any changes to come until probably the 2026 model year, and likely they will be very minor, if any. So if you don't know what the Ioniq 5N, it's basically Hyundai and Kia's most powerful vehicle they've ever made. It's just a beast of a car. It's getting very good remarks from the media and car reviewers and people who track cars on the regular. They think it's a really impressive vehicle. Now, next up, the 2025 Ioniq 5, the normal Ioniq 5. A lot of you have probably already seen my 2 videos on the 2025 Ioniq 5 that's already being sold in Korea, and now it's starting to go on sale in Europe relatively soon. So there's a ton changing. If you are interested in finding out what those changes are, check out the links in the description. And just to name a few of the big changes: bigger battery, new infotainment system, rear windshield wiper, refreshed styling on the exterior, and a newly designed center console in the car with a different layout that now has buttons for ventilated and heated seats to make it easier to access those. So in this press release, Hyundai is simply saying that at a news conference later this summer, they will reveal all the details on the trim lineup for the United States, which is what I'm very interested in because most of my audience owns Ioniq 5s. A lot of you have leases ending in the next year or so, and you might want to upgrade to that refreshed model. So I look forward to that press release coming out later this year. I'm not sure if Hyundai's planning on holding an event for that, but I would love to go if they do have one. All right, so now we'll talk about the namesake of the car that I'm sitting in, which is my Hyundai Ioniq 6. So it's been on sale in the US for about 1.5 years now. It came here as a 2023 model year. This is a 2024 Ioniq 6 SE rear-wheel drive. There have been some leaks of an upcoming refreshed Ioniq 6, but that is not what is coming for the 2025 model year. That'll likely be 2026. So what was odd when they introduced the Ioniq 6 here in the United States, unlike in other countries, our limited trim, the top end line here, did not come with a head-up display. That was only available in certain countries. And that was a big deal for a lot of people. A lot of people really like having the head-up display. But for 2025, they are bringing it to the limited trim of the Ioniq 6. If head-up display is important to you, then you're probably going to want to wait a few more months for the 2025 Ioniq 6 to hit the market. Other than that, the only other change is a color change. So when this car first went on sale, it was available in this really nice looking dark forest green that they call digital green. Apparently production on that was very short-lived. It ended December 23rd of 2023, so it already hasn't been manufactured for 7 months now. And now for the 2025 model year, it's completely axed. They're not bringing it back. That's unfortunate because I thought that was a cool color. It was definitely unique. You really don't see too many green cars anymore. So I like the fact that they at least offered it, but apparently sales of it might not have been that great. But that's it. Those are all the changes for the Ioniq 6 going into 2025. And last but certainly not least is the Kona Electric. So for 2024, it was a fresh design here in the United States, coinciding with a new update to the entire lineup, including the internal combustion version. So we wouldn't expect too many major changes for the new 2025 model year. And what we're learning through this press release is there is going to be an entirely new N-line version of the Kona Electric. But basically it's going to be like the new trim for the Ioniq 5, which is going to be a sporty looking exterior, blacked out interior with a lot of red stitching, similar to what Hyundai has done in the past with their N-line trims. It's just not going to have all the power of the Ioniq 5N. So the same thing is likely happening with the Kona, where they will have a N version of the Kona Electric, and this N-line will bridge the gap between the base model and then that souped up version. So expect a lot more on that in the coming months. Now, something that's confusing for me here is they say there's an SEL convenience trim, and I guess the change from 2024 is that it's going from SEL with convenience package, and for 2025 there will be an SEL convenience trim. I don't really know what they're talking about here, because as far as I'm aware, there's only one SEL available for 2024. There's no convenience package option from what I can find. I can't find anything on their online configurator. I can't find any documentation saying anything about this convenience package. I guess it will incorporate some of the things from the limited trim of the Kona Electric and bringing them down to the mid-level spec. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see what happens when they release the final documentation on that. Now, the next thing they're saying here in this press release is that the N-line trims are going to be getting all the interior ambient lighting. That's not going to be reserved only for the limited trim. And it's my understanding that the N-line trim is usually higher than the limited trim. So it makes sense that they would incorporate all the ambient lighting from the lower trim to that top N-line trim. Now, lastly, for the Kona Electric, there's going to be a new color. That's going to be Ultimate Red Metallic, which is the same color as my Ioniq 6. And I've talked about this before, but I've never been a red car guy, but now that I am leasing one and I see it every day, it's really grown on me. I think it's a sharp looking color. So that's going to do it, guys. Those are all the changes coming for the 2025 model year that we know of right now. I will have all sorts of coverage on the refreshed Ioniq 5, as well as the Ioniq 7/9, whatever they end up deciding to call it, the 3-row electric SUV, as well as the Kona Electric N-line. So if you guys liked today's video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. It really helps me out. Hit that subscribe button if you aren't already. And check out my store at ioniqguy.com for accessories for your Hyundai, Kia, or Genesis EVs. I've got sunglass holders, cup holder enlargers, my automatic door lock device that automatically locks all the doors of your car after 10 seconds when the last door is shut, and some other cool things like magnets and stickers as well. So as always, I will see you guys in the next one. Take care, everybody.